हाउ आर यू ऑल? आज भरी भरी। आई एम तो ऑलवेज फाइन सर, हमेशा ही बढ़िया। ठीक है, चलो। सेक्शन नंबर 138 में देयर वाज वन इश्यू आई वांटेड टू ब्रिंग इट टू योर नोटिस। लाइक, डू यू रिमेंबर दैट वी हैव डन देयर in case of unlisted public company 4 conditions we did over there, public deposits वाला। तो I told you that कि public deposits, balance sheet and P&L वाला, sorry, public deposit, paid up share capital and turnover वाला point we have to see it on the last day. Actually the public deposit also has to be seen on any point of time during the financial year. So point number 1 and point number 3 in the conditions to be seen where on any point of time, and 2 and 4 to be seen on balance sheet date. ठीक है, this was the like small thing you need to know. तो public deposits वाले point में you have to write कि first point is to be seen at any point of time during the financial year. ठीक है, now audit in automated environment में we have already understood what do you mean by automated environment, what are the risks associated with that, what are the advantages of that, and how it is relevant for the auditor, how the IT is relevant for the audit. ठीक है, now the next thing I think we have to start is known as impact of which. अच्छा, first of all tell me what are the 9 things we document when we do the audit in automated environment. Information system means which application software you are using. Second one, purpose, location, architecture, version, interfaces, in-house versus packaged, outsourced, key person, who are the one who are having the authority to access those softwares, right? Now the risk to be considered ये हमने कर लिया था, and the next point which you have to understand is impact of what? IT related risk, right? Now see, you all know about the substantive procedure. What do you mean by substantive procedure? First of all we do the wrap. Wrap के बाद अपन क्या करते हैं? FAP. FAP के अंदर TOC and SP. What is SP? Substantive procedure. Substantive procedure means what? Something in general or in-depth examination. So substantive procedure को we broadly classify into 2. One is known as TOD and one is known as SAP, substantive analytical procedure. How the information technology is going to affect your substantive procedures. Now read this point. Impact on substantive procedures cannot rely on the data obtained from what? Systems. System data and reports should be tested for its accuracy and what? Completeness. More audit evidence needed compared to what? General vouching. देखो, जब अपन manual audit करते हैं ना, while doing the manual audit, TOD is very possible, very much possible. What is TOD? Manual audit में how you will check their assets, whether they're actually in existence or not, by doing the which inspection? Physical inspection. You can check the valuation. Can you trace the transaction right from the journal to the balance sheet or not? Yes, because this is called audit trail. That is called which trail, everyone? Audit. Right from the journal entry till the balance sheet, you can trail the transaction, what was its starting point and what is its ending point. But in the automated environment mein, the total transactions which they are doing are happening inside the computer. Can you open the computer and see what is going inside? Do you know that how it started or how it ended, or it is all binary? Binary. You can't understand the computer language very easily. That's the reason relying upon the data which is produced by the system. And tell me one thing, system is accessed by whom? Authorities and management. Does the management have any authority to manipulate it also? Yes. So data produced by the system is more reliable, or data produced in the manual audit is more reliable? Manual audit is more reliable. So IT also affects our which procedures? Substantive procedure. Read the point number 1 again now. You as an auditor cannot rely upon what? You cannot rely on the data obtained from where? Systems, because system data and report should be what? Tested for its what? Accuracy and what? Completeness. अब सर उसको टेस्ट कैसे करें? टेस्ट करने के लिए, डू यू रिमेंबर आई टोल्ड यू CAAT टेक्निक्स आर देयर. इसे हम लोग बोलते हैं कार्ट टेक्निक्स, कंप्यूटर एडेड ऑडिट टेक्निक्स और कंप्यूटर असिस्टेड ऑडिट टेक्निक. अपने पास एक सॉफ्टवेयर होता है, जैसे मैं तुम्हें बताता हूं, मेरे ऑफिस में एक सॉफ्टवेयर है स्नैपशॉट. अब ये स्नैपशॉट सॉफ्टवेयर क्या करता है सर? ये सॉफ्टवेयर आई विल मेक वन डमी एंट्री. Are you getting the point? And I'll attach my software with that dummy entry. That dummy entry will go inside the software of my client. Right or not? Right from the input till the output, the total processing input and output, each and every stage, my software will take the snapshot inside the software. Obviously, it will not be a snapshot as you might be thinking. It's not an image. It's a snapshot in the form of binary language. Which language? Binary. So when my entry is going inside the software, it is becoming an input. Then this entry will be what? Processed. And it will come as a what? Output. I will detach my entry. Now whatever the things my software has collected while being processed inside their software, I will put it in my laptop, and that result, it will be converted into English language, and then I will come to know that whether the software is genuine or it is a manipulated one. If it is the manipulated software, my system will generate error on that. Because my system, my software knows my expectations. So if their software is not meeting my expectations in my system, when I'll put the result of that snapshot software, it will immediately raise the error on the screen, and that is how we come to know that whether their software is non-manipulated one or the manipulated one. Did you get the point? उसे बोलते हैं snapshot software. Which one? वैसे ही हमारे पास एक सॉफ्टवेयर होता है रेड. रेड सॉफ्टवेयर का मतलब क्या होता है? रेड सॉफ्टवेयर कैचेस द डिलीटेड फाइल्स फ्रॉम योर सॉफ्टवेयर. आर यू गेटिंग द पॉइंट? सपोज देयर आर सम एंट्रीज. Let's say for example income tax की बात करते हैं. In the income tax, you know that there is one section number 40 subsection A2 which says that more than 10,000 of cash payments allowed or not allowed. Suppose they have made it. They know that ki when the auditor will come, he will disallow it. So before me reaching over there, they deleted somewhat entries, made a note of it, so that when I will leave, they will again what? Put those entries. So now how I will come to know that ki whatever the data, whatever the collection of the, what do you say, information they are showing me is genuine or not, I will put my RAID software on them. Which software? Until and unless you do not delete the same item for 20 times in your same system, I can still retrieve it. You know that fact? 20 times you have to delete the same data from the same system. On the 21st time, I will not be able to retrieve that information, but up to 20 times, if you have deleted, I can still retrieve that information which you have already deleted. That software is known as what? RAID software. Did you get the point? Now these are called auditing tools. They are which tools? Which we apply on their accounting tools. देखो मैनुअल ऑडिट में अपन क्या करते हैं? मैनुअल ऑडिट में भी अपन इंक्वायरी करते हैं, इंस्पेक्शन करते हैं, रिकम्प्यूटेशन करते हैं, रेशियो एनालिसिस, बट नाउ इट इज मैनुअल और ऑटोमेटेड. So when their accounting is automated, my audit tools also are going to be automated. So we will do what? We will test their information. Now see this point, read the point. System data and reports should be what? Tested for its what? Accuracy and complete. How will I be able to test it? With the help of my tools. उसे बोलते हैं हम लोग CART. What is CART का full form? Computer Aided Audit Techniques or Computer Assisted Audit Techniques. Anything you can write, right? More audit evidence needed as compared to what? General vouching. It means they are comparing the automated audit with the manual audit. So they are saying that when you are doing the automated audit, you need what? More audit evidence as compared to which vouching? General vouching. So this is one of the risk of automated environment. So what is the risk we have done? Impact on which procedures? What is the next one? Impact on controls. Read the point number 1. Yeah. Read the point number 1 now. Cannot rely on automated control system calculations and accounting procedure built into what? Application. क्योंकि देखो सर, today it does not take, मैंने अभी recently अपनी app develop करवाई है. It will not take more than 5 days to develop an app, and whatever the need arises, whatever my requirement is there, he will include it in an app. It means manipulations are difficult, or they are very easy to be done. You just need to hire a good software programmer and he can do the manipulations in your what? Software. So we think that everything which is being done under the software is non-changeable. That is your big mistake. It is changeable. It can be altered. It can be tempered. I have seen some softwares of my client where the credit purchase की entry क्या होती है मेरे को बताना? Purchase account debited to credit, whereas that amount is going to unsecured loan. Instead of going to creditor, the credit is going to where? Unsecured loan. Because they were ready to go to the bank to show them the current ratio. अब current ratio का formula क्या है? If there will be more creditors, what will happen to the current ratio? Increase or decrease? Decrease. That's the reason they manipulated their software in such a manner that all the creditors, instead of going to credit of the creditors, they are going to the credit of what? Unsecured loan. And they easily manipulated the bank in getting the renewal of the loans. See, banks do not have that much of enough time to check and come to your organization, check the testing of your software and all, whether it is genuine or manipulated one. But it is whose responsibility? Auditors. So you never be under the impression that when you do the automated audit, your workload reduces actually. Your workload actually what? Increases. It does not reduce your workload. It rather increases your workload because everything is automated and it is not visible. Audit visibility is zero. Manual audit mein to I can like read the minds of the employees also. Is he telling me the truth or not? Computer ko kaise read kare? So if you want to read the computers, you also have to use your card techniques. Are you getting the point? So what is the point written again? Read. Cannot rely on automated controls, system calculations and accounting procedure built into what? Because applications can be built as per your requirement. So there is no genuine proof that it is a certified software or something like that. Until unless you don't buy the tally and all those things. Next point, cannot rely upon what? IT dependent manual controls, and more substantive audit is what? Required. It means computerized audit does not reduce your workload, it rather increases your workload. That is a risk of automated environment. That's why I told you now, once you will be DSA or you will be CISA, you will be start getting your audit fees also in the lakhs and crores of rupees. Means multiple folds it increases. Normal audit mein if you are getting 1 or 2 lakhs, there it starts with 40-50 lakh rupees of fees. Because you know that you are taking a higher risk in doing the audit on a which basis? Automated basis rather than manual. And what is the third? Impact on what? Report. Achhe batao, my reporting is dependent upon which procedures? And TOC also. So yahan pe mera TOD and here it is what? TOC. So my TOD and TOC both are in danger. Obviously it will impact my what? Reporting. Because reporting is based upon what? Tell me one thing. Reporting is based upon what? Audit evidences. Audit evidences we collect via what? TOD and TOC. When the TOD and TOC are not reliable, then in that case my audit evidence is not reliable. In such case my conclusions are not reliable. It means it will definitely impact my what? Reporting. So indirectly अपन यहाँ पे TOC, यहाँ पे TOD and here we what? TOC. So TOD and TOC will definitely impact my what? Reporting. Clear? Now see what is written. Communication to what? TCW. Acha, in such cases what happens when we generally go to the TCWG and they say that sir I think there is a manipulation in your software. He will simply say how it can be manipulated sir. Like that they will say. As if they are very overconfident. As if they know that the auditor will never come to know that their software is what? Manipulated. But we have our own tools. So as and when the accounting tools get generated in the market newly, new audit tools also come at the same time. Because if we will be not able to understand their accounting tools, we will never be able to do the audit of the same. So it has to be accounting plus what? Auditing tools, both to be introduced at the same time. Clear everyone? So next point, modified audit reports if the controls are what? Weak and affecting the which statement? Financial statement. Most of the automated audit reports mein, you generally end up giving the modified report also. Reason being very simple, क्योंकि if they are unable to clear you, अच्छा sometimes तो ये भी होता है कि client itself does not know कि what is happening in the software. They will say that we bought it and we were not aware of the fact that this was happening. So at the end of the day, if their internal control systems are weak and if the ROMM is what? High, then in that case I will end up giving a which report? Modified report. Did you understand the point? So this is the impact of IT related risk. Did you get the point? Now, next topic is very common topic which generally they ask you in the examination. The name of the topic is known as types of controls. What is the name of the topic? अब सुनना ध्यान से, यहाँ पे 3 तरह के कंट्रोल है, मैं 2 मिनट में तुम्हें समझा दूंगा. After that we will just read it out. There are 3 types of control. One are known as general IT controls. ये क्या है? अच्छा, आज वो फेस्टिवल है ना? अच्छा है म्यूजिक. होता है ना कभी कभी तुम्हारे साथ भी, तो मतलब ऐसा म्यूजिक चले तो अंदर से डिग 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 डिग. डांस करना है तेरे को? देख ले. ये तो डिस्टर्बिंग है यार. चलो एनीवेज, शुड आई इंक्रीज द वॉल्यूम और इट इज फाइन? अभी देखो, देयर आर 3 टाइप्स ऑफ कंट्रोल्स एवरीवन. जनरल आईटी कंट्रोल्स, application controls and IT dependent controls. What are the 3 controls? General IT, application, IT dependent. अब I will connect you with all these 3 controls via mobile phone. Are you getting the point? अब सुनना ध्यान से. Can I open your mobile phone right now? No. अरे नहीं कर सकते यार. क्या यार, तुम थोड़ा सीरियस हो जाओ. Are you getting? iPhone है, जैसे iPhone में अभी फेस लॉक है. Are you getting the point? So that face lock is a general IT control. It's a which control? First of all, to open your application only, I have to first open your phone. So general IT controls are the big controls which are covering your computers. Are you getting it? They are known as which controls? General IT controls. Uske baad, when we go to the Google Pay, say for example, I want to misuse your Google Pay. Now, when I will open the app also, there will be one password. And when I'll make the UPI payment also, there will be another password. उसे बोलते हैं application controls. They are called which controls? So what was the first one when we opened the phone? And what is the second one? Now this application control, when we make the Google payment, can we share the receipt with someone? I made the payment to you. If from my side it is successful. तो share का option आता है ना? That is called IT dependent controls. That is called which one? That will happen only when you want it. Can we take the printout also then? Right or not? जैसे अभी कंप्यूटर होता है सर, we make the word file or PDF file and all. We created one PDF file. We saved it as a PDF. Now if I want to take a print, now print computer will give me a printer. So printer is dependent upon whom? Computer. That is called IT dependent controls. Which are controls? IT dependent controls. So there are total 3 types of controls. You see it in the organization, the client which is having the automated environment. What are the 3 controls? First one, general controls. फिर होते हैं application controls. अब let's say for example, whenever we do the audit, I'm telling you practically, which you will also come across. When during your articleship, when you will do the audit, the client will send you the backup of his accounts. What he will send you? Backup. TBK file, we call it as a TBK file of tally. Now that backup, when you will put it in your tally, it will not allow you to modify their accounting information. It means that is already what? Protective file. Which file? Protected file. So when you will use that backup, it will open in your tally, but you will be only able to be readable form. It will be in the which form? Can you alter anything? Can you temper anything? No. That is called what? Application controls. That is called which controls? Application controls. So every organization must have which controls? First one, general. First one are general. Because without general, you can't have application, you can't have IT dependent. The first most important are general. After that, application control. And after that, IT dependent. IT dependent controls are those controls which are completely dependent upon what? Information technology. A printer on its own cannot give the print until unless you will give what? Command. Did you get the point or not? They are known as IT dependent controls. तीनों controls समझ में है? Now read it out. तुम्हें सिर्फ read करने हैं. I hope you all understood the example with the help of mobile phone. So this is called the types of controls which we find in the organization also. So what is the first control, everyone? General IT. Now read it, everyone. General IT controls are the policies and procedures that relate to many applications and what support the effective functioning of the word application control. अच्छा, say for example, sir, can you download an app lock in your phone? You can lock every app you want or not. So that is called what? General IT controls, which helps you in functioning, effective functioning of your application controls. So general IT controls support whom? Application controls. Now read the point number 1 again. General IT controls are what? Policies and procedures that relate to many applications and support the effective functioning of which controls? Application. They apply to mainframe, mini-frame and what? End user environments. Clear? Next one. General IT controls that maintain the integrity of information and security of the data commonly include controls over the following. That's why people today nowadays prefer iPhone over the Android phone. Apple makes sure that your information will not be gained by anyone without your permission. तुम Apple के फोन को अनलॉक ही नहीं करवा सकते, किसी ABC टेक्नोलॉजी से भी अनलॉक नहीं करवा सकते. It is that much protective layers on the Apple phone. But the same is not the case with the Android. क्या हो रहा है भाई, तेरे को प्रॉब्लम हो रही है? कांटे लगे नीचे तो उछल क्यों रहा है बार बार? अननेसेसरी अटेंशन सीख कर रहा है तू, पता है तेरे को? मैं किसके बारे में बात कर रहा था? आईफोन के बारे में. अभी आईफोन की जो सिक्योरिटी पैनल्स होते हैं ना, दैट कांट बी ओपन इवन बाय द ऑथराइज्ड सेंटर ऑफ आईफोन आल्सो. इट हैज टू बी ओपन फ्रॉम द मेन फ्रेम. आर यू गेटिंग द पॉइंट? दैट मच कंट्रोल सिस्टम्स द आईफोन्स आर हैविंग. तो मतलब अगर आपकी डेबिट कार्ड इनकम, क्रेडिट, डेबिट कार्ड इंफॉर्मेशन, क्रेडिट कार्ड इंफॉर्मेशन और यू नो जीपे, ऑल दोस इंफॉर्मेशन आर स्टोर्ड इन एन आईफोन, यू हैव टू बी, मतलब you have to be relaxed. It means it won't get compromised in any way. But same is not the case with what? Android. इसीलिए उसकी cost ज्यादा हो जाती है. That is the major reason. Security is the major reason that the cost of the iPhone will be increased. क्या हो रहा है कि आज पहले तू डिस्टर्ब कर रहा था, अब ये डिस्टर्ब कर रहे हैं. क्या बोल के आया क्या उनको? जब मैं छोड़ू तो तुम लोग स्टार्ट हो जाओ. हाँ कितना लाउड म्यूजिक चलाते हैं यार. अपने को यहीं पे डिस्टर्ब हो रही, वहां पे खड़े वालों की तो आत्मा परमात्मा से मिल जाते होंगे. वैसे है क्या आज? व्हाट इज द ओकेजन टुडे? इट वाज फुली जैम्ड दिस एरिया ना, फुल ब्लॉकेड्स आर देयर. नहीं, आई नो दिस. कौन सा एरिया? बलकमपेट टेम्पल, बोनालू. इतना जल्दी? हाँ अच्छा चलो. तो ये लक्ष्य वाले छुट्टी क्यों नहीं करते उसे? नहीं रहते. अच्छा बस 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 बस, आ जाओ आ जाओ. मेरे को मालूम है तुम पढ़ने के मूड में नहीं हो, वो तो वैसे भी तुम किसी दिन भी नहीं होते. तो बट वी हैव टू कंप्लीट इट. ठीक है. नाउ जनरल आईटी कंट्रोल्स का सेकंड पैराग्राफ एवरीवन. जनरल आईटी कंट्रोल्स दैट मेंटेन द इंटीग्रिटी ऑफ इंफॉर्मेशन एंड सिक्योरिटी ऑफ व्हाट? डेटा commonly include controls over the following. What are the three controls? Data center and network operations, program change, access security, application system acquisitions and development and maintenance. These are IT controls generally implemented to mitigate. What do you mean by mitigate? To reduce the IT specific risk and applied commonly across the multiple IT systems. Nowadays, if I'll say that thumb impression on your computer, if you don't want to use a login any password, can you use a biometric? Biometric credentials are more safer than your user ID and password. Yes. So that is nothing but called the which controls? Sir, अभी अपन क्या करते हैं? अभी भी अपनी फिंगर टच से लॉक खुलता है, और द रेटिना स्कैन और द फेस स्कैन. So these are nothing but called which controls? General control. If they will not be there, applications will be secured or unsecured? Unsecured. Next one is which control everyone? Application controls. Application controls include both what? Automated as well as what? Manual controls. that operate at a which purpose? Business process levels. Automated application controls are embedded into what? IT applications. Example what? ERP, and help in ensuring the completeness, accuracy and integrity of data in those systems. अच्छा ये बताओ, Tally, how many of you know Tally? मैंने उस दिन भी पूछा था, तू कहां था बे? अच्छा बताओ, टैली, एनीबडी नोस व्हाट इज द टैली सॉफ्टवेयर? आपको मालूम है अम्मा? मैं क्यों बताऊं, टैली सॉफ्टवेयर ओपन कैसे होता है? सर डबल क्लिक करे तो ओपन हो। डू दे आस्क यू द पासवर्ड इन द बिगिनिंग व्हेन यू वांट टू एंटर द कंपनी? डू दे आस्क यू द पासवर्ड? अच्छा, यू हैव जस्ट सीन इट. Okay, okay. You took the training. So training they might have told you na how to open it. Okay, okay. Anybody used it? अब मैं तुम्हें बताता हूँ, ध्यान से सुनना अभी. अपन डबल क्लिक करते, क्या हो गया? किसको आता है? बताओ बताओ. सुनो सुनो, आ जाओ वापस. सो अपन डबल क्लिक करते, टैली सॉफ्टवेयर का मेन पेज ओपन होता है. उसके बाद दे विल आस्क यू द यूजर आईडी एंड पासवर्ड. व्हाट इज दैट कंट्रोल? जनरल कंट्रोल. When we'll enter into that, they will ask you the financial year you want to open. When I will check the financial year, then in that case, when I want to alter any kind of entry in that, then again it will ask one user ID and password. That is called which control? Application control. Now I wanted to alter it. I use the user ID password, and now I retrieve the information of those debtors which are more than 180 days old. I made a filter. I want the debtors list which is more than 180 days old. Now I want to print that list. What should I do? Print command. Am I correct? That is what which control? IT dependent. इतना समझ में आ गया ना? तो this is how the total control system of the organization takes place. अब application controls. Now tell me, without my intervention, whether it will automatically modify the entry or it will modify the entry only when I will enter it. I will enter it. That is called mix of two controls. What are the two? Manual, automated. It is a mix of two controls. What are the two? Manual, automated. Until and unless I will not give the command to that software to modify that entry, entry will be automatically modified or it will be modified on my command. So that is what application controls are. Read the application controls again. Application controls are what? It includes what? Both automated and manual controls that operate at a which process? Business process level. Automated application controls are embedded into the applications. Now, see, I put a base value of 1 lakh rupees of sales invoice. Rate I chose is 5% GST. What will be the value automatically calculated? 1,05,000. Are you getting the point? Now tell me, that calculation I did or software did? That is called automated controls. That is called which controls? But that value of 1 lakh, who has to introduce? Me. I have to introduce that 1 lakh of value. That is called which tools? Manual. So application are the mix of two types of tools. What are the two tools? Manual and automated. Clear? Next point. Examples of automated applications include edit checks, validation of input data, sequence number checks, user limit checks, reasonableness checks and mandatory data fills. अभी तुमने कभी देखा होगा when you filling up some online form, there will be some star mark in some of that, and if you forget to fill that, what will happen? Submit button will work or will not work? Will not work. Or else the error will appear कि mandatory field column number 3 row number 2 has not been filled. Are you getting it? They are known as what? They are known as application controls. Which controls? If you are not filling it manually, we will give you the error. Now tell me one thing, your last name automatically the computer will take when you will put your first name, or you have to fill up? Fill up. But next time do you have to do it again? No. It will save your what? Information. So they are known as which controls, everyone? Application controls. Clear? Achha, nowadays you might have seen that ki in some applications when you open it, they will automatically ask your OTP. Some applications में you have to do it manually. In some applications that the moment the message comes, they automatically read it, but for that also they take your permission when you install the app. Do you think that when we install the app, they take the permission of access to photos, access to calls, access to contact? We keep on giving what? Agree, agree, agree. But you should not actually. That is basically you are putting your data on risk, which is there in your mobile phone. So you should first read it, because we are so much in hurry to put that application in our phone that we give the permission, allow, 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 allow. But finally you're compromising your data security by allowing everything. Are you getting the point? So you should never allow, read your OTPs करके एक option आती है. So you should never allow that. Read your OTPs का. क्योंकि if you will allow that and if someone has hijacked your phone, then in that case he need not even call you to put an OTP. It will automatically be done and the transaction will be over. Did you get the point? So that's how the spam calls, how do they operate, all those things, right? Now let us understand the third control. What is the third one, everyone? IT dependent. These are basically manual controls. These are basically what? अब तो मुझे बताओ, computer is there, this is automated, but printer is dependent upon what? Computer. So that is called which one? If I will not attach its wire with the computer, automatically आ जाएगा print. Nowadays तो Wi-Fi वाले भी आते हैं. Nowadays Wi-Fi printers are there, but still Wi-Fi also you only have to connect it first. Then only it will give the command. So they are which controls, everyone? IT dependent controls. These are basically manual controls that make use of some form of data and information or report produced from IT systems and what? Application. In this case, even though the control is performed manually, the design and effectiveness of such controls depends upon the reliability of source data. Due to the inherent dependency on IT, the effectiveness and reliability of automated application controls and IT dependent controls require which controls to be more effective? याद रखना, मैं अभी भी बता रहा हूं, IT dependent controls and application controls are the secondary thing. First, what should be stronger? General controls. If anyone is able to catch your phone, he should not be able to open it. That is the main thing. If he is able to open it, it will be very easy for him to manipulate the applications and manipulate the IT dependent control. That's the reason opening the phone itself should be so much strong. Okay, no one should be able to go inside it. Did you get the point? So general IT controls are required to be super strong and super effective as compared to which two controls? Application and IT dependent. So what are the three types of controls we did? General. Achha, general supports whom? Application. IT dependent is based upon two. General as well as what? Application. Among these three, which should be the stronger? This is the relationship you have to learn for the purpose of examination. Now, read the next question. General IT controls versus what? Which one should be more effective? Which supports whom? Without what cannot be operated? Without general IT controls, application. This is what the relationship you have to write between the general IT controls and application controls. These are the two categories of controls. Pata hai. They are what? Interrelated. ये भी पता है. The relationship between the application control and general IT control is such that general IT controls are needed to support the functioning of what? Application controls, and both are needed to ensure what? Complete and accurate information processing through which system? IT system. Clear है? कोई डाउट हो तो बताओ तीनों कंट्रोल्स में. तो what are the three controls? General IT, application, IT. ठीक है? Now testing methods. Testing methods में it will remain same, which we have used in our RAP. Tell me the four testing methods of RAP. 5. Inquiry, inspection. Same concepts we have to apply here. Achha, if I have to ask you, I'll give you the option inquiry plus observation, inquiry and inspection. Which one is more reliable? Inquiry plus inspection is more reliable than? Same answer you will find it here also. So we just have to read it because we have already covered that in SA 500. Okay? Now see, there are basically 4 types of audit tests that should be what? Used. What is the first one? Inquiry. Second one, observation. Third one, inspection. And fourth one is, वहां पे अपन उसे recomputation बोलते थे. We used to call it as what? Here we are going to call it as re-performance. That's it. That is the only difference. Rest everything is what? Same. Inquiry is the what? Most efficient audit test because it also gives the least audit evidence. Hence, inquiry should always be in combination with use what? Any of the other auditing testing methods. Inquiry alone is not sufficient. इसलिए मैंने तुम्हें अभी क्या बोला था? Inquiry with what is the best combo? Inquiry with inspection is the best combo as compared to inquiry with observation. Now see, re-performance is the most effective as an audit test, gives the best audit evidence. However, testing by re-performance could be very time consuming and least efficient most of the time. Generally, applying inquiry in combination with what? Inspection. This is the main point. Inquiry with in combination with inspection gives the what? Most effective and the efficient audit evidence. वो basically in the point number 2nd, 3rd and 4th they are saying what? Inquiry is most efficient. Re-performance is most effective. But the problem with them is कि alone they can't work properly. Re-performance में problem is what? कि re-performance is a time consuming task. क्योंकि company has already done it. You are doing it again. It means it is a time consuming. Am I correct? That's why they are saying that the best combo is what? I plus I. What is I plus I? Inquiry plus inspection is going to give you the most efficient audit evidence also and most effective audit evidence also. Clear? When the testing in an automated environment, some of the common methods are as follows. What is testing number 1? Obtain the understanding of how an automated transaction is processed by doing a walkthrough of end-to-end transaction. This is also known as what? Audit trial. What do you mean by walkthrough of end-to-end transaction? Walkthrough test पता क्या होते हैं walkthrough test? Anybody is having an idea? मैं तुम्हें एक example बताता हूँ. This might be one of the question which may come in your interview as well. इसे बोलते हैं P2P operations. What is the name? P2P का मतलब होता है procurement to payment. What is the operation? Basically, this question is asked in your what? Interview when you are interviewing for a software company or when you're interviewing for a manufacturing company. So simply the interviewer will ask you, Rohit, can you please tell me in detail how the P2P operation works? P2P stands for procurement to payment. अब मैं तुम्हें बताता हूँ. I will say that, sir, P2P operation starts with the inquiry from the stock manager. Which manager? I will ask the stock manager, what do you do when your reorder level of quantity comes? What do you mean by reorder level? It is a minimum stock which you have to maintain to continue your which activity? Production activity. That is a minimum stock you have to maintain. So I said that, sir, I will make an inquiry with the stock manager and I'll ask him, what do you do when the reorder level of quantity of stock comes? He said that he will generate MRN. What is MRN? Material Requisition Note. And material requisition note will be going to the purchase department. Which department? Purchase. Purchase department will inform it to accounts department. Which department? And accounts department will start doing the invitation of tenders. What do we invite? Tenders. From the tenders, we'll select the best one, and after selecting the best one, we place the order. After placing the order, there will be a delivery of the raw material. And once the delivery of the raw material will take place, we'll do QI. What is QI? Quality inspection. After doing QI, this raw material will be sent to stock department. From the stock department, it will go to the production department. From the production department, we'll produce what? Finished goods. After the finished goods, again we do the QI. What is QI? Quality inspection. After that, we inform it to the accounts department. Accounts department put the journal entry of purchase. Finally, it will inform to the finance department. Finance department will issue the check. Check will be given to whom? Supplier. And supplier will put it in the bank and the bank will release the payment. अब बताओ, इसमें एक डिपार्टमेंट इन्वॉल्व था या सो मेनी? इसे बोलते हैं वॉक थ्रू टेस्ट. एंड टू एंड, स्टार्टिंग पॉइंट टू एंडिंग पॉइंट. नाउ टेल मी, व्हाट वाज माय स्टार्टिंग पॉइंट? प्रोक्योरमेंट. How the procurement starts in the organization, and what is my ending point? Payment. It's called the P2P operations. Like that, we have O2C also, order to cash, but that is from sales point of view. This is from परचेज पॉइंट। अब तुम्हें बताओ, विदाउट लुकिंग एट दिस, कैन यू रिमेंबर ऑल द डिपार्टमेंट्स? दिस इज कॉल्ड अ साइन ऑफ गुड आईसीएस और पुअर आईसीएस? गुड आईसीएस, क्योंकि वन डिपार्टमेंट इज इंडिपेंडेंटली गेटिंग चेक्ड बाय व्हाट? अनदर डिपार्टमेंट। इसे बोलते हैं इंटरनल चेक सिस्टम, दैट इज कॉल्ड विद चेक सिस्टम। अच्छा ये बताओ, तुम लोग सिनेमा हॉल में गए हो ना? इन द सिनेमा हॉल व्हेन वी बाय द टिकट and the person who checks your ticket is the same person or different person, and the one who sells you the popcorn upstairs is a different person. So what if the single person is doing the same activity? Chances of frauds and errors will be higher. That's the reason rule of company says that multiple activities shall not be handled by the single person. There should be a proper segregation of duties. Did you get the point? That is a good sign of what? Internal control system, where one work will be independently checked by another. अब बताओ, देयर वन डिपार्टमेंट इज इन्वॉल्व मल्टीपल, स्टॉक से लेके, प्रोडक्शन से लेके, पेमेंट से लेके, सप्लायर से लेके, क्वालिटी इंस्पेक्शन से लेके, ईच एंड एवरी डिपार्टमेंट इज इन्वॉल्व. दिस इज कॉल्ड P2P operations. This is called one way of testing. Walk-through test. What is the name of this test? Walk-through test. Read the second point, everyone. Observe how a user processes the transaction under what? Different scenarios. Next one, inspect the configuration defined in an application. What do you mean by configuration? Acha, when you buy a laptop or when you buy a computer desktop, do you buy it according to some particular configuration you are looking for? A gaming laptop and normal laptop में difference क्या होता है? Which one is more having a heavy processor? Gaming laptop. क्योंकि वहां पे heavy softwares, heavy applications you have to run. A normal software, a normal laptop with a 4 GB RAM and 512 GB of hard disk is more than enough to run a normal operational work. But yeah, I do the editing of my videos in a very heavy software, जैसे Filmora है and all those things. I use those softwares. OBS use करता हूँ. I need a computer which do the 7 to 8 multi jobs at the same point of time. So I need a lower processor or high end processor. So I need basically a workstation computer, a supercomputer I need. So for that reason your configuration changes. That is what they are saying. Inspect the configuration defined in an application. Next point is what? Inspect the system logs to determine any changes made since the last audit testing. Do you remember I told you one software ka point in section number 143 subsection 3 में OLRR paragraph में one amendment कि from the 1/4/2023 onwards your accounting software should have a which one? उसे बोलते हैं, this is what do we check? Inspect the system logs. System logs का मतलब क्या होता है? अच्छा, tell me one thing, what do you mean by system logs? Imagine you are opening your app, bank app, whether you see it on the right corner side, it will say last login was on this day at this time. Suppose after 1 week you have logged in to your application for the bank application to check your bank balance. Do you see it on the right side? Small words में it is written your last login was last week or last Wednesday at this time, this second and this particular nanosecond. So this is called system logs. They are called what? System. Achha, say for example, if my computer will be opened by anybody else, how should I come to know that how many times he has opened? I will go to my system, go to the mainframe, I'll open the activity log register. Which one? From that log register, I'll come to know that who has operated my system at what point of time. If someone touches my phone also, na, in my phone I have an app, कि when you touch my phone, it will take your pic without a flash. And that will be added in my activity log. Who has touched my phone at what point of time, I'll come to know. Basically, I found my wife always. When she has to make the payment or something like Swiggy, Wiggy, ये वो करके, तो ऑटोमेटिकली जैसे ही वो मेरा फोन ऑन करती है तो ऑटोमेटिकली इट टेक्स अ पिक. तो अजीब अजीब सी शक्लें बनी होती हैं क्योंकि दैट टाइम द पर्सन इज नॉट रेडी ना, नहीं तो पाउट बनाया ओ ये वो ऐसा करके. तुम लोग भी सेल्फी वेल्फी लेते हो क्या? अपन तो लेते ही रहते हैं. तुम लोग लेते हैं सेल्फी वेल्फी? हाँ, तुम्हारा अच्छा कितने लोगों का इंस्टाग्राम आईडी है? रेज योर हैंड. अच्छा, सॉरी, आई आस्क्ड wrong question. How many of you don't have Instagram ID? You don't have Instagram ID. You should die on the spot. You as well. You as well. कल मैं एक काम करूंगा, बॉटल से लेके आऊंगा जहर की. I'll distribute when coming into the class. Take one each. क्यों नहीं है भाई? Focus. Focus on studies. So you don't want to get distracted. अच्छा. फाउंडेशन फर्स्ट अटेम्प्ट में हुआ था. अच्छा, मैं ओवर फोकस मत करना क्योंकि रैंक 1 नहीं आता है. बिफोर रैंक 1 कुछ नहीं आता. ओके, नो प्रॉब्लम. चलो नेक्स्ट वन. इंस्पेक्ट द टेक्निकल मैनुअल, यूजर मैनुअल ऑफ सिस्टम्स एंड व्हाट एप्लीकेशंस. इफ यू वांट टू नो द सॉफ्टवेयर. अच्छा, जब भी अपन प्रेशर कुकर लेते हैं या वॉशिंग मशीन या एक्वागार्ड, डू वी गेट द मैनुअल इन दैट? What do you see in that manual? Instructions to operate. Same is the case with the software. Whenever you buy any software, अब जैसे मैं when I sell my Google Drive classes and pen drive classes, I have to send them one PDF document first. उसमें link of the player where the classes will run. Am I correct? Your class code, student code, everything will be written. How you have to install your computer should have this much of configuration and everything, so that accordingly they will arrange, because one time it is used, it will not be rectified again. So they have to read the manual first. They will download the applications in their mobile and laptops. Accordingly, they will be able to operate the classes. So for every application, you need to learn its technical manual first. That is the first thing the auditor does. That is what the second last point you are able to see. Read the point. Inspect the which manual? Technical manual, user manual of systems and what? Application. And carry out a which test check. That is called negative testing, and observe the error message displayed by the application. Do you remember just now I told you one software called Snapshot? So when I will do the dummy activity, and if I'll use that result of that snapshot and any error message displays, what does that signify? If their application is running without manipulation or with manipulation? It means some problem is there in their processing of the software or processing of the transaction. Did you get the point? उसे बोलते हैं negative testing. Which testing? Sir, NCR PCR को concept मालूम है ना? What is NCR? Full form नक्को रे भाई. What is NCR? When do you expect a reply from the party? When the balance is confirming or not confirming? Not confirming. Same is the case with the negative testing. So I will do 100 or 200 tests, out of which I am not interested in the positive test. I am interested in what? Negative. Which will give me the what? Negative result. It means that is the area where the software is what? Highly manipulated. Am I correct? And last but not the least, conduct what? Reperformance. Using the which data? Raw source data, and independently applying what? Formulae, business rules and validations on the source data by using what? CAT. What is CAT का full form? देखो पूरे चैप्टर में एक वर्ड दिया हुआ है, बट एक्चुअली इट्स अ ह्यूज कॉन्सेप्ट इन इटसेल्फ. कार्ड, कंप्यूटर असिस्टेंट. डोंट वरी, सीए फाइनल में सेम चैप्टर इज देयर. So there you will have almost this chapter is of 30 to 35 pages in your CA final. So you will understand different types of data mining softwares and card techniques and all. Next one. This topic, if you remember, we have already done. Let me just ask you first before doing this topic. Can you please tell me what is section number 143, subsection 3, clause I? Is it an alien section I'm asking you? Or we have already done that? Company audit, OLRR, A to J. Do you remember that? A to J total 10, I told you. Up to J there was no amendment, but in the J 3 more amendments have come. That I already told you. But there was J के पहले एक I था. IFCS, Internal Financial Control System. Are you getting the point? Auditor always checks the internal financial control systems of an organization and he reports whether they were adequate or not. Do you remember that word I told you, efficacy? Efficacy is a mix of 3 words: efficiency, effectiveness and adequacy. तो अपने को उसके ऊपर एफिकेसी का कमेंट पास करना है कि इज देयर इंटरनल फाइनेंशियल कंट्रोल सिस्टम्स आर व्हाट efficient or not, means what efficient, effective and adequate or not. But this rule is not applicable to OPC. What is OPC? And not applicable to small, and not applicable to such companies whose paid up share capital, whose turnover is less than what 50 crores and borrowings are less than what 25 crores. If you remember that, this point we have already done. Same point you have that in automated environment audit also. The name of the topic is known as internal financial controls as per which framework? Regulatory framework. ठीक है ना? Now here in the automated environment audit, what are the 5 things we are ensuring? What is the first thing we are ensuring? Reliability of financial reporting. Auditor is going to report कि is their software reliable enough in terms of financial reporting or not? What is the second thing we are ensuring? Effectiveness and efficiency of what? Operation. What is the third thing? Compliance with the applicable laws and regulation. What is the next thing? Safeguarding of assets. अच्छा, how do you safeguard your asset as a company? तुम अपने assets को safeguard कैसे करोगे? How do you think that you will be able to safeguard your assets? Will you allow anybody to have access on any department or limited access? Limited. That is how you can safeguard your asset. Would you like to put a surveillance everywhere? That is how you safeguard your asset. Would you like to do the double checks before using an item? That is what you, because biggest of the frauds takes place in inventory. That is called MOA frauds. What is MOA? Misappropriation of assets. What is the full form? That is called MOA frauds. And that takes place in your inventory. So वहां पे how you will make sure that your inventory is safeguarded? By doing the physical verification at regular intervals. How much is shown in books and how much in the godown? Should reconcile or should not be? Should reconcile. If it is not reconciling, that means there is a discrepancy. It means the sum of the thefts and stealings are happening in your godown. उसे बोलते हैं safeguarding of asset. And what is the last one? Detection of frauds. How do you ensure the detection of frauds in your computer systems? जैसे मैंने तुम्हें बताया कि I have an app, when someone opens it, it catches and the other person will not come to know that his image has been taken. So how you will ensure that if your total business is running on one software, how you will ensure the software is secured to prevent the frauds? कैसे ensure करोगे? What kind of internal controls you will put in your software to ensure that the fraud should not happen? Master files will be allowed to be accessed by anyone or only with the authorized personnel. That's how you will ensure. Everyone will be having an access to system logs, but master files where you can alter your software, that will not be handled by anyone. It will be handled by some limited people. Did you get the point? This is what do you mean by what? IFCS. What is IFCS? Internal file. So tell me, what are the 5 things the auditor has to report on that? Okay, I did the audit of their IFCS. I want to ensure the 5 things. What are the 5 things? Whether their reliability of financial reporting. Second one, effectiveness and efficiency of operation. Third one, compliance with the laws and regulations, safeguarding of assets, and prevention and detection of frauds. Clear? And last but not the least, what is the next topic, everyone? Data analytics. इसके ब्रैकेट में लिख लो data mining. It is also known as what? What do you mean by data mining? I think I gave you the introduction yesterday. पहले ये बताओ mining का meaning क्या होता है? Mining means extraction. Extraction means you are looking for the everything or you are looking for something out of everything. So gold extraction के time पे only gold you extract or the total area you will extract? Area you will extract. There will be so much of mud, sand, oil, whatever the different stones. What you are looking for is gold. So what is that gold for you? That gold for you is a reasonable element. Which element? Same is the case with the auditor. Do you think that just because we are doing the automated audit, we will be having the sufficient time to analyze all the transactions of the company or very few of them? So out of the total data of the company, what is meaningful data to me? For that, I apply one application on their software that is called data mining application. What is the name? So my application will be going inside their application and will be giving me the total information or meaningful which I need for the purpose of my audit. उसे हम लोग बोलते हैं data analytics technique. Which techniques? Analytics का मतलब क्या होता है? What do you mean by analytics? Means what? I need that information which I am looking for. I don't need every information. जैसे say for example, अभी Reliance के अंदर 1,80,000 debtors हैं. How many debtors? Do you think that I am interested in all of them? Or I am interested in those which are prone to bad debts? Which are more near to what? Bad debt. So what should I do? Should I keep my eye on those debtors who are making their repayment within 60 days or more than 60 days? So I will give a command to their application software. Okay, I need the debtors list who are pending for more than what? 60 days. Am I correct or not? So out of this much of data, did I get the meaningful data? That is called what? Data mining. Did you get the point? Now read, what is data mining? Read it everyone. It's a combination of what? Processes, tools and techniques that are used to tap vast amount of what? Electronic data to obtain what? Meaningful information is called what? Matlab we will apply it on the vast data, but would we like to get what? Meaningful information out of it. So that is known as which technique everyone? Data analytics or data mining. Did you understand what I am trying to tell? How many of you didn't understand so far? No problem. Because this question is a deserving question which comes so many times in your examination as a short note. What do you mean by data mining? Can anybody tell me? Without looking at the board, how you will explain it? Data mining is the use of various processes and tools on a vast amount of data to get a which information? Meaningful information for the purpose of audit. That is called what? Data analytics or data mining. Next point, the tools and techniques the auditor is using in applying the principle of data analytics are known as CART techniques. What is the name? CART technique. What is the full form of CART? Now you can see computer assisted audit techniques or CART in short. Data analytics can be used to perform the following. What is the point number one? Check completeness of data and population that is used in either test of controls or substantive audit test. So data analytics helps you in checking two things. What are the two things everyone? Completeness and accuracy, can I say? Yes. So these are the keywords you have to write. Completeness and accuracy in TOC and TOD. Correct? This is how you can remember the first point. What is the second thing? Selection of which samples? Sampling क्या होती है? Application of audit procedures on the total population or less than 100%. That is called what? Audit sample. But do you remember I told you there are so many factors which helps you in deciding the sampling size, sampling risk, non-sampling risk, tolerable error, expected error, assurance the auditor is looking for. All that factors is now going to be added in your software. जिसे हम लोग AI बोलते हैं. What is AI? Artificial intelligence. So CART techniques are so artificially equipped intelligence softwares that it will also help you in determining the which size? Sample size. It also helps you in sample size. Next one क्या है? It also helps you in what? Recomputation of what? Balances. Like reconstruction of the trial balance from the which data? Transaction data. Suppose you are not relying their trial balance, you would like to reconstruct on your own. Tell me the four techniques of automated environment. Same, inspection, inquiry, observation, recalculation or reperformance. इसी के बारे में तो बोल रहे हैं. Recomputation is nothing but called what? Reperformance. Next one, reperformance of their what? Mathematical calculations, that is depreciation, bank interest. So you have your own softwares also. They have also calculated the bank interest and debited to P&L account. You would like to put the same figures. अच्छा मेरे को ये बताओ. Nowadays तो you know that कि when you open any bank app and there will be a loan EMI calculator. Have you seen that? कि suppose if you want to know that कि I want to take 5 crores of loan, how much will be the EMI if I am taking the loan for 30 years? It is very difficult for you to do it. So what you will do is you will put the loan amount, you will choose the rate of interest, and you will choose the tenure. Within a nanosecond, they will tell you your monthly EMI will be this. Did you get the point? That is what do you mean by this thing? Ki they have done their calculation, but I will recompute it again with my software. If my calculation and their calculation is matching, then in that case it is fine. Otherwise, kuch to correct hai nahi hai. Next point क्या है? Analysis of which entries? Journal entries as required by 240. 240 में अपन दो तरह के fraud check करेंगे. MOA frauds and FFR frauds. MOA I already told you. Don't tell me memorandum of association. It is misappropriation of assets. FFR stands for fraudulent financial reporting. What is FFR? ये जो fraud होते हैं ये top level management करती है और ये जो होते हैं ये lower level management करती है. Did you get the point? So MOAs are the fraud which are generally conducted by which level management? Lower level. FFR are what? Top level management. But that we'll understand in 240. Don't worry. Next one is what? Fraud investigation. So it means, can I say 143 subsection 12 applies in your automated audit also? And last but not the least, evaluation, impact of which deficiencies? Control deficiencies. Suppose their computer does not have a locking system. It is wide open during the lunch time. The sales manager went to the lunch and anybody can come to his desk and access his computer. What is its sign? It's a sign of good ICS or poor ICS. तो वही तो बोल रहे evaluation impact of their which control deficit. So audit analytics or data analytics software helps you in doing all these things. Tell me now, what are the 5 examples of data analytics ka uses you will write? Completion, completeness and accuracy of TOD and TOC data, sample size, recomputation, reperformance, evaluation of control deficiencies, and before that fraud, investigation and analysis of which entries? Journal entries as required by SA 240. Simple. That is called what? Uses of its software? Data mining or data analytics. So I think we are left with the last topic if I am not wrong. Yes. What is the name of the report? Assess and report audit file. आज नहीं मिलेगी छुट्टी. आज ये चैप्टर कंप्लीट करके हटेंगे अपन. ठीक है. तो कल कौन सा चैप्टर स्टार्ट करना है? Shall we start risk assessment internal control? SA 315 tomorrow. Followed by that, it will take 2-3 days, and after that, we'll be able to start with the SA 240. So your 11 chapters will be over. Then we'll be left with what? 2 chapters. One is audit of different items, and next one will be audit of different entities. Clear है? उसमें अपने major 2 audits are there: government audit, cooperative society audit, remaining are chiller audit. उसमें कुछ भी नहीं आता. But still, we have to do all the audits at one place. ठीक है? Now, assess and report which findings, everyone? Audit find. देखो, either you do manual audit or you do the automated audit. End product of every audit is what? Reporting. So, what you are going to report in this case? Now, see, read the point, everyone. At the conclusion of each audit, it is possible that there will be certain findings or exceptions in what? IT environment and IT controls of the company that need to be assessed and reported to a what? Relevant stakeholders, including management and TCWG, that is board of directors and auditor. ये क्या बोल रहा है कि like every other audit, in the automated audit also there will be some deficiencies, there will be some negative testings which are required to be bring to the notice of whom? Stakeholders. So generally we report it to whom? Who are known as stakeholders? Does it mean shareholder only? Or everyone? Everyone. Stakeholder means our users. Who comes under users? Creditors, suppliers, lenders, shareholders, management. Everyone deserves to know that what are the deficiencies in their which system? IT system and IT environment. Some points to be considered as follows. What is the point number 1? Are there any weaknesses in their which system? IT control. So it means we are going to ask these questions to myself and I am going to answer it to them. Ki Rohit, while doing the automated audit, did you find any weaknesses in their which system? IT controls. Next point. What is the impact of these weaknesses on what? Were they ignorable or they were too substantial to affect my audit? I will get the 2 answers. Agar to ignorable hai, it's fine. But if they were too substantial to affect my audit, then it is required to be reported. Next point. Report deficiencies to whom? Management. इंटरनल कंट्रोल्स मेमो और मैनेजमेंट लेटर. व्हाट डू यू मीन बाय दैट? हम लोग पता क्या करते हैं, एक आई थिंक यू डोंट हैव दैट स्टैंडर्ड इन योर पोर्शन, दैट इज कॉल्ड SA 265. उसे हम बोलते हैं LOW, लेटर ऑफ वीकनेसेस. व्हाट इज द नेम ऑफ द लेटर? Who will draft this letter? Who did the audit? Auditor. Who checked their internal control system? Auditor. Who found the weaknesses? So who will report to whom? To the management. So who will make this letter and send it to whom? TCWG. Who is TCWG? Those. Bringing to their notice the strengths of their internal control system or weaknesses, so that corrective measures can be taken. उसे बोलते हैं हम लोग this point. उसे हम लोग management letter भी बोलते हैं. And this is also known as management letter. It is also known as internal control memo, ICM. What is ICM? That is what the third point you are able to say. Report deficiencies to the management via what? Internal controls memo and management. So iske bracket mein LOW if you will write, you will be able to understand what 265 is. But anyways, you have it in CA final. Communicate in writing any significant deficiencies to whom? अच्छा, अगर मैं तुम्हें एक ऑप्शन देता हूं, बोर्ड ऑफ डायरेक्टर्स आर ऑन वन साइड एंड ऑडिट कमिटी इज ऑन वन साइड, whom you would like to report deficiencies? Both of them or one of them or more to the audit committee? Audit committee क्या होती है पता है ना, लॉ में पढ़ा है तुमने? I came to know that section number 177 is also not done yet in your law. Not done. 148 भी कहा हुआ, वो तो मैंने करवाए हैं. 138 to 148 तो I made you do. 177 done or not done? So you don't have any idea about audit committee. एक जना बताओ. अम्मा 177 भी पोर्शन में ही है. That is called audit committee. Not yet done. चलो I will. They just what? That 1 or 2 points have been. Okay, I will just remind me tomorrow before starting of the chapter. I will make you understand section number 177, which talks about the which committee. क्योंकि there are so many things which are connected with the audit committee in auditing subject. So that's the reason it is very much mandatory. I thought that it was done, but I think that day also someone reminded me of audit committee. Who was that person? Yes, sir, audit committee not yet done. So I will make sure that I will make you understand 177 first, then I will come to this point. याद रखना, audit committee is an independent committee. Which committee? क्योंकि इसमें जो होते ना 2/3, 66% of your directors must be independent directors. Which directors? And do you have an idea of independent director? The independent director is the one who is not having which relationship with the client? Financial. They are only the directors who will come, sit in the meeting, take the independent decision which is in the best interest of the company. They will take their sitting fees and go. This is the major difference between independent director and ordinary director. Ordinary director is like an employee. So tell me one thing, employees' loyalties will be towards whom? Management. So that's the reason in the audit committee, we don't want the majority of the people to be non-independent director. Majority will always be what? इसका chairman भी independent director ही होगा. Of which committee? Audit. That's the reason auditor more than board of directors, he reports to whom? Audit. And if I'm not wrong, section number 143, subsection 12, what was that? Duty to report of fraud. When it was less than 1 crore, we reported to audit committee, then to the board of directors within 2 days. Audit committee always comes before what? Board of directors. Because audit committee will take the recommendations of auditor more seriously as compared to what? Board of directors. Because board of directors are indulged in that. They were involved in that. So audit committee is an independent committee. They will take it more seriously as compared to that. That's the reason what is written. Why I am telling you this? Try to understand this point number 3 and 4. Read the point number 1. Report normal deficiencies to whom? Management. But below that what is written? Communicate in writing any which deficiencies? Significant deficiencies. Only and only to whom? और TCWG में सबसे important element क्या होता है? Audit committee. Which committee everyone? Audit. Normal deficiencies you should tell to the management. But significant deficiencies you have to first tell it to whom? TCWG. And who comes first in the TCWG? Audit. After that, CEO, CFO and chairman, all those people will come. Okay? And last but not the least, auditor needs to assess each finding and exception to determine the impact on audit and evaluate if the exception results in deficiencies in internal control. Refer to the flow chart to learn how this assessment should be carried out. This approach and thought process is the same when the audit in automated environment or when the audit in more manual environment. What they are saying that the process will remain same. Either you are doing the audit in what? Automated environment or audit in what? Manual. So this chart I am leaving it on you क्योंकि ये flow chart के ऊपर है. Flow chart है तुम्हारे portion में? Do you have flow charts? Do you know what do you mean by flow charts by the way? वो ऐसे करके होते हैं. Start and end. I think start and end. Have you seen these symbols? क्या होते हैं बताना मेरे को ये. पहले वाला क्या है? Start and end. Second वाला क्या है? That is second one is called what? Input box. Which box? Input. Third वाला जो diamond सा दिख रहा है वो क्या है? Decision box. You are showing me as if it is not there in your portion. Not there or not yet done? Maybe. क्योंकि जब मैं आईटी करता था तब थे ये फ्लो चार्ट. Maybe that might have been deleted, but I think check अम्मा एक बार फ्लो चार्ट है क्या? Is there any chapter called flow chart in your EAS? Not there, I think. अच्छा EAS अभी फर्स्ट चैप्टर चल रहा है? Not. तो कुछ भी इंट्रोडक्शन नहीं है फ्लो चार्ट की. Then तो I have to tell you that. I thought you already had an idea. इसको ध्यान से सुनना, थोड़ा complicated है. I thought if you have the knowledge of flow chart, it will be fine. Now see how it is starting. Does the finding or exception result in what? Control deficit. अभी देखो इसके दो आउटपुट है. If it is no, पहले no वाला करते हैं. If it is what? No. तो no का एरो देखो नीचे जा रहा है, नीचे जा रहा है, नीचे जा रहा है, नीचे जा रहा है, नीचे जा रहा है. डायरेक्टली कहां पे हो रहा है? Document the results of assessment and thought process in which file? If you did not find any deficiency, you will directly do the audit documentation and finally what? Conclude. That's it. तो no वाला तो खत्म हो गया. Are you getting the point? तो if you did not find any deficiency in their internal control system, simple conclude and document into the file and finally what? Report कर दो उसे. Conclusion means what? Reporting. But the problem comes when if you found it, yes. तो yes के बाद क्या आ रहा है? Report to whom? Management. What is this? Evaluate likelihood and magnitude of deficiency. What do you mean by likelihood? How many times it may happen or what are the chances of it is going to happen? Now see, again there are two arrows now. Read the two arrows. Is it significant deficiency or material? And can we test compensating controls if any? What do you mean by compensating? See, if there is a deficiency, is there any other control to control it or not? Is there any other control to control it or not? If we are going down, then there will be again yes or no. And if we are going right side, see on the right side first. After evaluating the likelihood and magnitude of the deficiency, what is the next question? Is it significant or material? If it is yes, क्योंकि मैंने तुम्हें क्या बताया था? Normal weaknesses you will tell it to whom? But if it is significant one, TCW. तो अपन किसको कम्युनिकेट करेंगे? TCW. तो उसके बाद TCWG को कम्युनिकेट क्या करेंगे? उसके बाद assess its impact on opinion and audit report. And finally what? Complete. तो अपना ये चार्ट भी कंप्लीट हो गया और यहां से लेके ये चार्ट भी कंप्लीट हो गया. Am I correct? Now, what is the next one on the other side? Now leave the significant वाला point. What is the next one? Can we test compensating controls? If yes, तो नीचे आ जाओ. Additional evidence may be required. Additional evidence है तो documented, document है तो conclude. If no, तो क्या करेंगे? Can we obtain the evidence of what? Other mitigating factors? If yes, तो फिर से क्या करेंगे? Additional evidence required and document and finally what? Conclude. If no, फिर नीचे चलो. Is there any impact on what? Automatic controls or IT controls? If yes, additional document and then what? Conclude. If no, उन्होंने बोला फिर भी डॉक्यूमेंट करो, फिर भी कंक्लूड करो. तो यहाँ क्या, ये क्या मतलब हुआ? If yes और no का सेम है? No. Yes है तो additional evidence, then document and then what? Conclude. If no, directly document and control. अब ये पूरा चार्ट बताओ. तो यही तो पर्पस है बताने का. हाँ, you know that without testing we won't wind up. Read the point number 1. अब ये पूरा चार्ट तुम्हारे दिमाग में छप जाना चाहिए. Does the finding exception result in what? Control level. पहले no, यहां पे आके क्या था? Documentation and finally what? But अगर yes है तो communicate to management. Evaluate the likelihood and magnitude of deficiency. If it is significant, communicate in writing to whom and assess its impact on your opinion and audit report. वही था ना. और उसके बाद नीचे क्या आएगा? लेकिन अगर वो insignificant है तो we will see whether we can get the test of what? Compensating control. If no, if yes, sorry, additional evidence required, conclude, documentation and conclude. If no, below, can we obtain the evidence of, if yes, additional evidence required, document and conclude. If no, is there any impact on automatic control? If yes, additional evidence, documentation, conclude. If no, documentation. Very good, very good. Clap for yourself. Thank you so much. And today we have concluded our another chapter called Audit of what? Automated environment. So in another 4 days, maybe what is date today? तो सैटरडे तक अपने सारे चैप्टर्स हो जाएंगे एक्सेप्ट 2. व्हाट आर द 2? ऑडिट इन, सैटरडे को क्या आ रहा है? 9th ना. तो सैटरडे तक रिस्क असेसमेंट, इंटरनल कंट्रोल एंड एसए 240 फ्रॉड, both will be over. Then we'll be left with 2 chapters. One is audit in different items and some standards, patchwork standards, which we are left with. See you guys tomorrow. Bye everyone. Thank you.